Hey guys, I'm getting ready to go through the alignment procedure on this Filco 3930. I have the original instructions just printed out from the Filco Service Bulletin. The equipment you need to do an alignment is an RF generator. In this case I'm using a Leader 17A and a VTVM. I'm using an RCA WV77E Volt-Ohmist. And you should let the receiver warm up for a while. They split the instructions into two sections. Left hand side is what you should do with your signal generator. Right hand side is what you should do with the receiver. So signal generator, first up, should be set to 470 kilocycles. So on this generator, that would be this range, which covers 300 to 1000. And they want 470, so that's the B range there. Let's dial that into 470. Jeez, right about there. And you're supposed to connect that to the 6AAG grid via a 0.1 microfarad dummy antenna. What that means is this capacitor in series with your RF generator. So here's my RF generator output. I've got the ground going to the chassis. Be careful, don't follow these instructions for any radio. Find the specific ones for your radio, because sometimes the chassis is hot. But on this set, the chassis is indeed ground. And here's my dummy antenna. Now right now I have that going to the antenna input, but this really needs to go to the 6A8 grid. I wish they were more specific though, because there's actually 4 grids in the 6A8. G1, G2, G3, G4. Now it just so happens that G4 is the cap coming out the top of the tube, which is a convenient place to hook in the signal. It's right here, so I'm going to give that a try and see how it works. As for the meter, it should be going between the plate and the cathode in the type 41. The cathode is ground, and the plate is right off this capacitor down in there. That's that white clip lead I've got. So I'm going to rearrange my setup here so that this is going to the grid in the 6A8. And then we need to set the dial on the radio to 580, which I have done there. I think. Oh, just them off a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to be peaking 20A, 12B, and 12A, which are these IF transformers. That's the one I tinkered with, so it's probably off a bit. And then here's the IF transformer here. Okay, now I need to tweak each of these trimmer caps. First up is this guy. And of course I'll be doing it for maximum meter deflection. That was way off. Just notice that when I'm using this metal screwdriver, as I put it in there, it's affecting the meter reading, so I'm going to switch to a plastic one. you're also supposed to do is with the volume cranked up all the way. I just adjusted the output of my RF generator lower so I'm not deafening myself while I'm doing this. Alright, so it's right about there. Now we do 12B, which is this guy here. Ooh, that was way off too. Because these trimmers were so far off, I want to go back and peak them all again. Remember, order does matter. Typically you start with the trimmer closest to the output tube and work your way back towards the RF front end. Alright, so that was the first section. That was tweaking the IF. Now we're going to go through and tweak the RF. So from here on out, we connect the signal generator to the antenna terminal through a 100 picofarad cap. Okay, I've got my RF generator on 18, I've got the dial on 18, I've got my 100 picofarad dummy antenna, and now we're supposed to tweak this for maximum reading. Very, very twitchy, very sensitive. Okay, next up I just do the same thing 3 more times. 1550, 580, and 1550 for this trimmer cap and these 2 trimmer caps, which is this guy, and there's 2 down in here. And that's it. So now for the important question, does it actually work any better? Well, I'm playing around with it, and the AM band still has a really annoying buzz. But aside from that, it does seem to be more sensitive now.
The biggest pain to Bulls fans isn't Pacers heat or something.
It's not the lights in here. I really need to track down where that's coming from, because that's just way too annoying.
Batalia trwała dosyć długo, batalię sądową myśmy też finansowali jako podatnicy, także widzi pan, jeżeli ktoś nie dał...
The importance of dissent and the uses of torture. The North Plant is a... Our Parks Bros stand ready to use their know-how to get you the right part.
As for the shortwave band, it seems to be working a lot better now. The main problem I'm finding, though, is that for this bigger frequency range from 5 to 18 megahertz, you should really have some type of vernier drive for the tuning, because it's just so touchy.
asistencia, 3.7 rebotes por juego.
Concept of Immaculate Conception and reunite. And if you have time, a follow-up regarding original sin. I think anyone who has watched a single minute of footage of the brutal
La
assault.
situación en Siria sigue preocupando a la Casa Blanca.
But Mary never had personal sin. Mary never had actually sinned. She was.
Sabe, estas são versões de Paulo, bem no início da carta aos Romanos, a pesar de los llamados y advertencias de la comunidad internacional, la campaña
está en sintonía de Family Radio, el sonido de la nueva vida. Hours, 32 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
Clearly something's not right with the AM band. I've pulled out another one of my radios that I restored a while ago for a little comparison. So sure, this picks up some of that noise too.
WIND.
But the stations come through much louder and clearer. In between the stations, the static's there, but you gotta turn it up pretty loud to hear it.
And say we've come to an agreement or
When we get to another station, the static's completely gone. Or just
The Bears'
about
new
completely
GM?
gone.
Phil Emery said that, quote, self with a personalized auto policy. We aren't.
Now, for a little comparison, let's check this out. So, horrible buzzing, tune. And there's AM 560, but there's still tons of static. There's also a whistling as you approach it and as you go away. That the radio just doesn't have. Between the stations, very loud noise. Hit a station, but the noise is still drowning it out. And so on. So, I will have to do some more investigating. In particular, I want to check all the voltage readings again and check the mica caps.